everyone. So basically here we will discuss regarding what is cell, and we will further discuss regarding explore about what is a prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cell. So basically cell is the basic structural and the functional unit of life. So who discovered the cell? The cell was first seen by Robert Hooke in 1665 using a primitive compound microscope. So basically what he did, he observed very thin slices of cork and saw a multitude of tiny structures that he resembled to walled compartments of a monk. Then he named them as the cells. So Hooke's description. So here we will discuss regarding the Hooke's description. So he gave the description of the cells was published in the Micrographia. So what is cell? The cell is the smallest unit of a living system that falls in the microscopic range of 1 to 100 micrometer. It attains the various shapes and sizes to attain a variety of functions. So we have to understand that why cell is necessary. So basic thing is that we need to understand the structure and the function of a living organisms. Then we have to first of all understand that what is the cell and what are its functions. So one of the most important characteristics of cell that it has the ability to divide. The existence of a cell that indicates that it has evolved from an already existing cell, and further it will give rise to the new cell. And this theory was first stated by the Theodor Scawan. And further, many scientists came and they collaborated with the Scawan, and those scientists were the Matthias Jacobs Chaldean on cells. And then he gave the birth to the cell theory. Okay, so come on, now we will discuss the basic thing, that is what is this theory. This theory basically states that first, all the living cells are made up of cells. Secondly, cells are the basic building units of life. Third, new cells are created by the old cells dividing into the two. So then, in 1855, Rudolf Virchow added another point to the theory. And when he added another point to the theory, he finally concluded that all the cells come from pre-existing cells, thus completing the classical cell theory. So the cell theory, it basically holds it true for all the living things, no matter how big or small or how simple or complex is the organisms. But in cell theory, viruses are the exception. Cells are common to all the living beings and they provide information about all forms of life. Why? Because all cells come from pre-existing cells. Scientists can study cells to learn about the growth, reproduction and all other functions which living things perform. By learning about the cells and how they function, we can learn about all the types of living things. So here we will discuss regarding the classification of cells, that is our next topic. All the living organisms, they can be bacteria, algae, plants, animals. They all have the cellular organization. They may contain one or many cells. So basically the organisms with only one cell in their body, they are referred to as the unicellular organisms. And it includes the bacteria, blue-green algae, some algae and other protozoa, etc. And secondly, I should say multicellular organisms, which you usually study from the class 10th. That is, organisms which are having many cells in their body are called multicellular organisms. And the common examples are the fungi and most commonly plants and animals. So here we discussed the multicellular and the unicellular organisms. Now I will discuss that any living organisms may contain only one type of cell or either. And on the basis of that, there are prokaryotic cells and the eukaryotic cells. So the terms prokaryotic and eukaryotic was suggested by Hans Riss in 1960s. And this classification is based upon totally on their complexity. then further based on the kingdom into which it may fall, that is the plant, on the animal kingdom. So these things we will be studied in the detail in the upcoming sections. Thank you.